Hello and welcome to Cut Through the Noise with me, Aisling O'Rourke. This is the podcast for business leaders who want to increase sales and elevate your brand through impactful communications and marketing. Here, we don't just talk theory, we deliver actionable advice to help you connect with your audience and grow with your business. Well, here we are now, well and truly into 2025. And let me start with some full transparency, give you a bit of an insight into how I approach a new year. I don't buy into the whole new year, new me mindset. It's not my thing. I'm not big on resolutions either, but what I do believe in is taking time to reflect, acknowledge, and reset. And of course, set some tangible goals. So if you're a solopreneur or entrepreneur feeling the pressure to hit the ground running, like somehow maybe if you haven't hit the ground running just yet, that you've failed, the pressure is massive. And I completely understand. It might be pressure to launch new products or services just because it's January. I hear you. That's why today I want to reframe how we look at the start of the year, not as a time for frantic action, but as an opportunity to reflect and plan strategically. And that's why I've left it until today to release this episode. I wanted to deliberately give you time to, well, get over the fact that we're in a new year, get yourself, a bit of momentum going, perhaps new energy. Now, I think it's time to start taking action. So, if you're ready to launch something new, fantastic, go for it. But if that's not where you're at, this could be the perfect time to tackle what I like to think of as the less sexy side of business. Reviewing your communication strategy and marketing plan. Here are a few questions to ask yourself as we kick off 2025. Is your communication strategy still relevant? Is your marketing plan effective? And are you actually implementing it? Because that's a very important question. It's one thing to have a communication strategy and a marketing plan, but if you're not actually implementing it, if it's gathering dust on a shelf or it's hidden away in a cloud folder, well, then it's not much good for you, is it? And are these tools helping you to move in the right direction? And that's what we're going to tackle in today's episode. Hi, me here, interrupting myself to tell you about a brand new mastermind that I'm launching for 2025. If you are a business owner, solopreneur, or team leader who wants to communicate with confidence and attract the right clients, and finally clarify your messaging, then stay with me. Let me speak with you about how the Clarity Collective can transform your business in 2025. So, what exactly is the Clarity Collective? Well, it's a mastermind program designed for independent business owners who want to elevate your communication skills, build stronger, more authentic brands. So, before we kick off the mastermind in early February, I'm hosting a free webinar to give you a taste of what the Clarity Collective is all about. The webinar will take place on January 28th. That's Tuesday of next week at 7 p.m. Irish time. The topic we'll be discussing will be communicating with confidence to unlock your business growth in 2025. And in this session, we'll be talking about the communication mistakes holding businesses back. I will also be talking more about the mastermind and how it can help you kick off your business and your communications with impact, because I believe in the power of a mastermind. So sign up at the link in the show notes and let's make 2025 the year to cut through the noise for you and your brand. So let's break down what exactly a communications and marketing plan should include. Well, your communication strategy is the foundation of all of your messaging. It's your North Star with how you connect with your audience and customers. A strong communication strategy should include your mission, your vision, and your values. These are the guiding principles for your brand. They help define your business and why it exists and what you aim to achieve and the core values that drive you. And this is incredibly important for solopreneurs, but even more important for people who manage teams and want to keep everybody on the same page. Then you need to think about your target audience. So, who are you trying to reach? You need to get really specific here. You need to go beyond the basic demographics and dig into the psychographics. What motivates your audience? What challenges do they face? And what do they value most? Then, in your communication strategy, you'll move on to the main points that you want your audience to remember about your brand. Think about it. What would you like them to say when they leave your shop or when they go away from a talk that you've delivered or they simply see your social media feed? This includes your value proposition and the specific benefits that you offer to your clients and customer base. Of course, your communication strategy must talk about your tone and style. It should be consistent across all channels and all members of the team. So, whether you're formal, friendly, or bold, your audience should immediately recognize your voice and your brand. Then, as I said at the very beginning, I'm all about goal setting, and I mean real goals and objective. What are you trying to achieve with your communication? Be clear about measurable goals, such as an increase in brand awareness, driving website traffic, or improving customer engagement. It's about having an actual flight plan, as a pilot who I know well would say. It's one thing to have the destination, but you need the plan on how you're actually going to get there. And that pilot is Niall Downey. And I highly recommend that you check out his book, Oops, Why Things Go Wrong. That's it here if you want to look it up on Amazon. Of course, the final part of your communication strategy, it must include a crisis communication plan. Look, none of us want to think about worst case scenarios, but we have to be practical. Things go wrong. So, how are you and your brand and your team perhaps going to solve a problem and address a problem when it inevitably occurs? Having a plan for how you'll handle negative feedback, a PR crisis, or an unexpected challenge is essential. You must have, as Niall would say, that flight plan before you take off. So that's what a communication strategy should look like. What then should a marketing plan look like? Because you need both. Once your communication strategy is in place, your marketing plan is a tactical roadmap that brings it to life. It is the flight plan, okay? It's it should contain your campaign goals and metrics, what specific outcomes you're looking from, measurable KPIs like sales targets, lead generation, and social media engagement. It needs to target market segments. You need to break down your audience. Like I said earlier, none of these broad demographics. You really have to get specific here in your marketing plan. You need to tailor your campaign to your audience's specific needs and behaviors. And then you create a content plan. You need to map out all the types of content that you create. That might be a blog, a newsletter, social media, video. They all need to be aligned with the audience's preference, goals, and accessibility needs. Your marketing plan also needs a channel strategy. So you need to identify where your audience lives on social media. Is it LinkedIn? Is it Instagram? Is it an email? Or even in the real world, is it that they prefer in person events? You need to tailor your messaging for each channel. Now, I will say, do not try to be, jack of all trades, master of none at this. Pick one, two channels and really go for it on those. Really shine on those before you try to tackle any more than that. Because at the end of the day, we can only do so much. Your marketing plan will have a timeline and a calendar, and it needs to be a detailed calendar for your campaign. It should include deadlines for content creation and publishing dates and follow ups. And That's whether it's a digital on a computer calendar or a physical calendar. The really important thing here is that everyone needs to check the calendar on a daily basis, even if it is just you working on your own. Your marketing plan also needs to talk about budget. I mean, how are you going to do this? Is it budgeting of your time, or do you need a financial investment? And then it's about reviewing and optimizing the plan. You have to review the plan, make sure that you're actually implementing it, and then assess whether or not it's working for you. I mean, there will be bumps on the road. So, why then do you need both? Well, a communication strategy focuses on your big picture, how you connect with your audience. And your marketing plan is about the execution. How do you execute the communication strategy? Without a solid strategy, your marketing efforts will feel scattered and they will be ineffective. And without a marketing plan, even the best strategy will fail to reach your audience. So now's the time to put all of this into action. Here's a challenge for you as you start off 2025. Take some time this week to review your current communication strategy and marketing plan, if you have one, and ask yourself, are they aligned? Are they still relevant to your business goals? And are they delivering the results that you need? If the answer to these questions is no, or if the answer is an honest, actually, I don't really have one of those, no need to worry. That's exactly why I created the Clarity Collective. This is the year to cut through the noise and build a communications and marketing strategy that actually work for you and your brand. So if you're ready to get started, don't forget that free webinar is on January 28th at 7 p.m. Irish time. We'll deep dive into how to create clarity in your communication. And of course, you can find out more about the Clarity Collective on my website, thecommunicationscoach.ie. Of course, all of the links will be in the show notes. So just go back to your preferred podcast app after you finish listening to this and click on the links there. Thanks to you for listening to Cut Through the Noise with me, Aisling O'Rourke. Don't forget to follow the podcast. And if you're feeling generous, please do give us a 5-star review, particularly if you found the episode helpful. Spotify even lets you comment on individual podcast episodes these days. And remember, while content may well be king, clarity is key if you want to cut through the noise, stand out from the crowd, and make 2025 your most impactful year yet.